start talking to me. And
Yes,
before
please.
proceeding, like I know that you're from India, huh? Am I right? Yeah.
Yep, yep.
And would you please tell me something about your native place and the experience about India, like when you were in the starting days of your learning this, all this concept art and all that stuff?
Yes, sure. So I'm Abhishek Banerjee. I hail from Kolkata, West Bengal, and I have studied there for most of my life
Mm-hmm.
till I did my masters over there
Mm-hmm.
from university. I did that in a completely different line in a way.
Mm-hmm.
I did my masters in computer science. So after that, I was working there for like almost 2.5, 3 years, and then I thought that I always wanted to do art and concept art. I wanted to do like a concept art
Mm-hmm.
seriously.
Mm-hmm.
So back in 2011, 10, 11, I kind of was deciding whether to pursue what I was pursuing, or should I like do a career change and follow concept art or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was, I think, 2012, somewhere around 2012. I thought, okay, let's try my luck.
Mm-hmm.
Let's try my luck learning concept art, and if it is possible to get into a gaming industry.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did was I came to Bangalore,
Mm-hmm.
and I inquired for an institute over there. It's called IGA back then. Now it's called AID, Asian Institute of Design,
Mm-hmm.
situated in Bangalore.
Yeah.
So I inquired about how to be how is the course over there? Do they offer concept art course or anything like that? Unfortunately, they didn't have anything in like core concept
Mm-hmm.
schedule or a curriculum based on that. But it was such a time that I could not afford to go outside of India to study concept art. So I just thought that, okay, let me at least get into the industry by any means possible. And what I did was I opted for a game art course. A game art course is basically your like production oriented 3D texturing, modeling, texturing, all of those fun stuff like sculpting and all of those.
Mm-hmm.
So I opted for that one. I relocated to Bangalore. I started doing the course, and while I was doing the course, I was also working parallelly and putting in some extra effort for concept art.
Mm-hmm.
So and it was a 1 year long course. So within a period of 1 year, I learned like the basics of 3D texturing, sculpting. Along with I worked on or won my concept art portfolio,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and then after a year, I got an internship in Mumbai,
Mm-hmm.
and which was like for a short period of time. It's like for 3 months, and then afterwards, I got a placement in Dhruva
Okay.
and Dhruva Interactive. So I started to tell you. I mean, in a nutshell, I started my real career from Dhruva,
Okay, that's
and
good.
yeah, and then like really amazing bunch of people back then. Um, so I stayed in Dhruva for like 7, 8 years, more than 8 years, and then it was acquired by Rockstar, and
Mm-hmm.
we became Rockstar, and I stayed there for like another 1.5 year,
Mm-hmm.
and then,
That's
recently I have moved to Sweden. I right now I'm working for Paradox here
oh,
in Sweden.
okay. That's very good. Like your profile and career is really very charming, and you have already worked with a lot of like big brands. That's
Yes,
amazing,
yes,
man.
yes. Being in Dhruva, that was like a very good thing that the studio was so amazing, and then there are so many talented people,
Mm-hmm.
both in terms of artists and talented business people, talented people in the administration. We get to do a lot of like big projects, like triple A projects in Dhruva. And then when Rockstar took us over, it was like amazing. So yeah, it has been a wonderful journey so far.
That's good. That's good. And even I got one more question. Like, can you please tell me what kind of difficulties did you face while switching your career? Because I heard a little bit you were in 3D first in the starting period of time, like when you
Yeah,
joined the Dhruva, and then you
yeah.
became a concept artist because you were loving to do the concept artwork and you were doing all this in your free time and just making a portfolio. So can you please explain me like what challenges
Sure,
did you
sure.
face?
Sure. So like I said that in my institute in IGA, I studied for 3D production kind of pipeline, right? And then because it was the plan, it was part of the curriculum. When I joined Dhruva, I joined as a 3D artist. So based on my test and the interview, I applied for a 3D artist.
Okay.
So because I was this is my first job, and I was like a very junior kind of guy, so I was doing a lot of 3D production kind of artwork, getting my head into the water and like soaking it all in, like how the production works, because I feel that there is a huge gap between what you study in schools like these, like multimedia schools, where you get to learn 3D tools and pipelines and texturing and all of those. And when you actually move into the industry and how things work there, there is a quite a gap. So
Totally
it
different.
was
Yes, I agree. That's totally
really,
different. What you
really
study and when you do
different.
when you are on a project pipelines and all.
Exactly, because one thing is the technology is ever changing in our field. Technology is like it changes like days and night. It changes every other day. We are seeing some new stuff coming. So many innovations happening. So it's completely changes. Like you study for 2 years or 1 year, you learn something, and by the time you enter industry, most of the things that you have learned the way you should do things, it's changed. Then you have to adapt and be proactive and learn new stuff, and you need to really be patient about it. So in the initial days, it was like really rudimentary kind of work that I was given, like what can I say, some texture work, very basic texture work, tiling, making tileable textures and applying it for here and there, things like that. And eventually when I progressed in my career, I always wanted to do concept art, so I always used to do concept art on the side. We used to post in back then it was CG Hub. ArtStation was not born back then, so we used to post a lot of stuff in CG Hub, and then we have internal forums in Dhruva. So one of my art director noticed that I was interested in concept art, and then we got some projects related to that, and we tried that out, and it worked fine. And then eventually, over a period of time, I completely moved to concept art. But this is what has happened. But in terms of my struggle, is that definitely, like I said, that as the technology is always changing, and so I had to adapt a lot. I had to adapt in terms of my workflow, in terms of what is given to me. One thing I feel as a professional is that we all like playing games, right? But in
Definitely.
terms of professional, when it comes to profession, you have to do what the task that was given to you, right? You cannot say, "Oh, I don't like it, so I will not do it." It doesn't work like that. So that is a learning experience
I got
that you
it.
have to.
Yeah, definitely got this thing. Like yeah, you're saying the true thing because what do we love to do is a different thing, but what we have to do is according to their plans, their art directors' visuals and observations.
Yeah, you don't always get to walk on like amazing cool dragons and fire and stuff. You have to make a bathroom all the time. No,
Yeah.
you have to make a bathroom, and you have to look like, oh, there has been a war going and whatnot, and that it's like it's not always like a dream job, but you put your head down, just listen to what your peers are saying, listen to what the art director is asking you to do, and then you keep on working, and then eventually one day will come, you get to you get to work on like a very cool dragon flying in the air and burning stuff.
That's true. That's true. Even as you're telling me, like this technology is getting updated day by day, and we have to be get updated always, like because we have to be stick to the industry, and it's
Yes.
always the technologies. So my question is that how do you get updates right now? Like any forums, any websites do you recommend to the people? Like these are the things where you should get updated. And if you're doing a freelancing kind of stuff and you are not joining to any studio and somehow, somewhat you are in your native place and you want to just do the freelance and you don't want to join any studio because you have some plans. Maybe you want to become an indie game developer, but still you want to be get updated yourself with the technologies. So how do you recommend that those persons?
I think nowadays there are like so many stuff out there, and you don't like you said, you don't need to like step one single step outside of your place. You can just stay in your room, lock yourself up, and with the help of internet, you can learn everything. So for me, what I look forward is definitely YouTube. YouTube is like it's free, and you don't have to pay a single dime to learn stuff. There is so much rich content in YouTube, and people are updating every day. There are so many people, they are updating contents. They have their own channels. They are talking about 3D stuff. They're talking about how to apply the 3D in concept. They're talking about monetizing it. They're talking about so many stuff. So if one is keeping his or her eye open and ears open and looking in YouTube, I think YouTube is a gold mine for me. And even before, for me, like I am a YouTube like viewer and consumer, YouTube content consumer from early 2007 ish. Back then it was so one key part of my journey was FZD school, like Feng Shui design school. He has a school in Singapore. So what he used to do back then, he used to like every week he used to upload one video, the kind of things that he does in his school, right? Some simple tapes, some basic stuff, some sketches, and he used to talk about those things, how he created concept art, like Feng himself. So that was the starting point. So back in the days, we don't have Discord, we don't have like different popular forums like we do now. Like we don't have Instagram, we don't have Facebook. Even it was pretty new back then, but YouTube was there, and there is quality content even then. So I kind of that is one thing kind of get the wheel rolling for me, and I get more interested. So even then, today 2021, it is true all the same that YouTube is one of the key sources for my inspiration and then my knowledge resource. And then apart from that, I have like where we are talking, Discord is definitely another source. You get to connect to so many amazing artists back in India. So yeah, definitely YouTube, Discord, and then of course WhatsApp, and then ArtStation is a huge thing. Like every major artist right now is in ArtStation. They're posting it regularly, and you get to connect with them, you get to follow them, you get to learn from them. ArtStation learning is there, so it's like it's everywhere. Like content is everywhere. It's just that a person who wants to do something, he or she needs to know exactly what they want, and then consume the right stuff, and then create something out of it, and then that I think will take them a long way. Yeah.
That's true, and that's totally true. Just here, I have one more point to add. Maybe I'm right or wrong. Maybe you can correct me out there. But I have seen on YouTube and in social platforms like which are mostly free. There are so many so many contents are there which is useless also, because people are posting because of the views and to get monetization. And what happens when a person is starting, wants to join this industry, when he's in his starting era, like he's just jumping into the industry. So he by chance or luckily, if he gets a good content, it's good. But if he's not getting the right path, so he's wasting his time maybe 1 year, 2 years, or maybe so many years, because he's not getting what the industry is doing, and he's following someone who's really not experienced about the industry and just posting it because he wants to get to monetize and he wants to earn money from YouTube. So
yes, that is true. That is also true. I partially agree with you, because one thing is that there, like I said, there is a lot of content. You need to filter it out. So a person has to have a good filter to cut all the crap. You need to cut all the crap and get the the nice core thing. So there are two ways to do it, I believe. Is that one, you would create artwork first. You create artwork, and then whenever you are creating, you will face some challenges. When you face a certain challenge, you look out for that uh, particular obstacle. Suppose I do not know how to do terrain sculpting, all right? So when I'm creating a scene and then I need, oh, okay, I don't know how to do terrain sculpting. I go to YouTube, search bunch of videos, and then I get to know, oh, okay, this is how people do terrain sculpting. I do it. And then when I do it, I face some challenges. What I do is I try to overcome those challenges using, my own ways. If I can do that, that's good. Or I can do the same thing again. I go back to YouTube, start some more, and then apply that. So that is a process. It takes time. I understand. It takes time. That is one process that you learn from your work. You work, you face challenges, you learn, and then you apply that challenges and move forward like that. That's one. Or another thing, which is a kind of a good way if you are starting, is to do workshops and mentorships and do small courses. Like now, there are a lot of people who are coming up with quality content. You can, one person can, do workshops and then mentorships with that person. And that's, I think, that is like the first forward line. You don't have to do a lot of trial and error. I think that is what you are coming to. You don't have to do a lot of trial and error. You get to learn from that person, apply that knowledge, and then move in the quick lane. Right?
Yes. This is completely right to me also, because the same thing I said, like people, because industry is evolving very fast, so it's on a pace. So without wasting a time, we should get someone like who can just guide us, give us a base knowledge, so we can just get to know like where to go, and then follow your path and just run on the on the track.
So when you initially, like it's like driving a car or driving a bike. When you first throttle and you are in the first gear, you need a lot of engine power, right?
Right.
So once you pick up the speed, engine can relax a little bit. So like if I am starting my career afresh, it makes sense to get the basics first from an institute, from a person who is a veteran. Get a workshop done, get a mentorship done, or apply for a course, spend 1 year, 1.5 year, whatever. Now after that, you are in a certain position that you have your basics right. Now you can build on that. Then you go, search YouTube, and then maybe take a mentorship or sometime, work on your portfolio, come up with good stuff, and then review it from your peers. Like when you were in an industry, either in a directly or indirectly, you will be in touch of many people, right? Many people.
Right.
So if you can have like a good peer, they will help you to grow. You know what I mean? If if I have like very good artists who are like very good, and then I can say, hey, dude, look at my artwork. Is it working for you? Then that person say, it's working. This could be better. I take it back and then apply it, and then grow from that. So initially, maybe it is a good idea to get the wheel rolling by taking up some mentorship or workshop or do some course. So yeah.
Okay, that's cool. That is really a very impressive answer, and for the people who are going to watch this and just listen to this. One more question to you, Abhi. What do you think is the most challenging part of the life of a concept artist? Like when he's doing concept art, or just when he's joining this field, any kind of like difficulties he face while just like I'm trying to say, like the most challenging, it should be the financial issue also, it should be the lack of knowledge also, it should be your peers, you are not getting proper knowledge, the environment, not getting the good mentors, or maybe you joined some small studio where you're not getting proper training and you are not able to switch to the bigger brands. Like what do you think, what are the most biggest challenges, what especially concept artists? Because I know about the 3D and all, and even in India also 3D thing is very most common, because you know that every single institute and college and universities is teaching the 3D part, but concept thing is really very hard in India, because there are not so many concept artists, and even in faculties are not available for the concept part. So that's why I'm asking, because you came from the India. So what do you say about this?
I feel like whatever you brought up is everything is true. Like there is not enough knowledge base in India, and like I think in terms of concept art is it's a bit difficult in terms of it is art and it is design. These are two completely different things. People think that okay, art is design, kind of same, but it is not. Art and design is completely different thing. So in order to become a concept artist, first one person has to become a good artist. In terms of, I'm saying, traditionally, you need to get your basics right. You need to work on your perspective, your form building, your lighting, your compositions. All of those fundamental things it should be there. Those are the pillar on which you base you build anything if you want to build. So first of all, one person needs to get his fundamentals very right. And these kind of things that I'm talking about, even now, I have been in the industry for like almost 10 years plus now. I am still learning those. I'm still learning perspective. I'm still learning form building. I'm still learning composition. So these kind of basic building blocks like perspective, anatomy, composition, lighting, color theory, all of these things, that is the fundamental building blocks of a game, of an art. One person has to be very good at this. And then when this is ready, then the real challenge comes up. That is the design part. So what I feel is the scenario is changing in India, very rapidly changing. But even now, this fundamental has to be worked on. Like many of us are not sound in these fundamentals. I mean, these fundamentals are so important that a person can spend his career without like getting into a certain perfection. These are very important. And then apart from this, when this is somewhat ready, when the fundamental is somewhat done, then comes the design part. Like in concept art, you need to think in terms of, there is a thing called design thinking, right? So basically what we are doing is, when the content creators of the game or the game designers, they have certain planning regarding the level or the game mechanics, they have something in mind. And then what the next phase would be to visualize those and create a certain mood, certain scene where you know that, okay, this is the kind of game I'm making, right? I can today say, okay, I'm making a medieval kind of a game, but this is not in planet Earth. This is maybe in planet something else, maybe Neptune or something. And then they have, maybe there is no sun, there is 3 moons maybe. So how do you imagine a medieval kind of world in a land where there are 3 moons? What kind of situation that would create? What kind of challenges that would create for a person? If a person is a king of that land, what kind of system he will build in that land, right? I'm just giving an example. So this kind of design thinking is very important. I mean, we can think of, oh, okay, this is a floating planet, there is a waterfall, very nice. But you have to, if you're trying to make a game, yes, floating planets, floating islands, it sells. But if you look at games that are coming right now, like Last of Us or God of War, these kind of games, they're so really real, based on such reality that it sells. That our industry is changing so much, and then we are getting close to like making things photoreal in terms of expression, in terms of animation, in terms of lighting. Everything is getting so realistic, right? So in terms of design also, it is not anything different. In terms of design also, everything is getting real. Back in those days when I used to like play like Call of Duty 1, if you think, then I take a cannon and shoot a building. The cannon will hit a building and then nothing happens. And today I watched Call of Duty Vanguard. You take a cannon and you shoot any building, that building will fall. Do you understand that? Then that building has to have all the mechanics of all the physics has to be there, that building will fall down. It will completely annihilate that building. That is not the case 5-10 years ago, right? So you have to plan your level in that sense. Okay, something falls down and later a person goes there. Can he climb into the rubble? Or can he not? Like these kind of decisions is becoming very obvious right now. So in that sense, I'm saying that one thing is getting your fundamentals right to a level, right? And then based on that, apart from that, you have to work on your design thinking. And then there comes the thing that, once you have your fundamentals in place, then you go to like a mentor and then, learn from them, or you do attend a workshop. So right now the scene is that every like famous guys, the big names in concept art, they are doing mentorship and they're doing it online. You don't have to visit anywhere. You don't have to travel. You can do it online. So that's a boon of this time right now, that in the time that we are living, it's a very different kind of time. Cannot call it completely challenging time. I mean, this is a challenging time, but then you look at the kind of services that we have. 10 years back we didn't have like Discord in such a way that we can record a session like this, right? But now it's possible. We have challenges and then we have opportunities, right? So I feel if we can exploit this opportunity for ourselves, for the betterment of the art quality or the overall industry quality that is happening right now in India, I think India will shine in future in terms of game art content creation.
Even the just one more thing, like I would like to tell you, like, because I'm a techie guy, so the thing, like as you said, like 5 years back, we don't have that kind of mechanism into our engines, and even the GPU power right now we are having, so we can render a lot of hefty amount of shots, and with as technology is booming up day by day, so that's why we are getting all this mechanics and physical based rendering and shading into the work, and even the
Yes.
animation, all those stuffs are coming. By the way, even in future as the cloud computing is getting up, so people can enjoy those all every single things into their even laptop also. There's no need to buy 3090 to all of the guys to play a game or
Exactly.
something. That's why, and as the technology is booming up, that's why the game art is getting really more surreal, more realistic, because they are putting more energy, more efficiency onto that. Because the user wants to get a feel like if he's not into the Hong Kong or somewhere, and or just he don't know what he doesn't know what could be in the future, but he can play Cyberpunk 2077 and can get a feel like, oh, this could be the future of our planet.
True.
Even Abhishek, one more thing, like as a concept artist, do you think any person could become a concept artist, or there should be some inborn abilities or something? There should be some spark into his life or into his soul, like he's only made for the concept? Or do you think anyone could be concept artist if he's decided to?
Yeah, definitely. Anyone can become a concept artist, but the only thing is that there is no shortcut, right? For everything, there is no shortcut, and concept art is not the same. You have to, if someone is willing to become a concept artist, it's you have to put in gruesome amount of time into it, to get things done. Like it's you have to work on your fundamentals, and there are so many, and you have to get things right, and then you have to work on design. So it's not a it's what I'm saying is it's a steep climb, it's a steep climb. But if you want to climb it, anyone can climb it, right? Now, if you say, okay, I want to climb Mount Everest, can anyone climb it? Yes. If anyone has a determination that he wants to do it, anyone can. You don't need you don't need a born talent, like a silver spoon to become a concept artist. Anyone can become a concept artist, provided that you crush it through your hours that you spend on artwork. If you are genuinely, if a person is genuine in terms of the amount of hours he spent in his artwork and pursue it very, very seriously, and then, I mean, seriously, not in terms of that, oh, I have to become a concept artist, I have to do like 10,000 artwork hours, I have to spend 10,000 hours in my artwork, I have to do it, not like that. But if a person really enjoys that, I think that is the real thing, because you have to do it on and on. So if a person enjoys the process, enjoys the gruesomeness of concept art, then definitely he can do it.
Even yeah, that's completely agreeable. Abhishek,
So for
yeah,
me,
yes, please.
sorry to
No,
interrupt
no,
you.
no, no.
So for
Yes,
me,
please. Yes.
I came into the industry when I was 26. So I was pretty late to start off with. Then I spent some time knowing the industry and then working with 3D, and then eventually I moved to concept artist. And so I think even if I start late, I am doing what I like to do, and that's a huge gain. That's a huge reward from my side, and that is what matters. So it is definitely possible if one is determined. I think determination and discipline is a couple of two things that can help a person become a concept artist. If a person is determined and he is disciplined in terms of his art, put in hours, learning new stuff, applying it, move on, apply it again, learn new stuff, and then keep on doing it. It will create result, and then it's no shortcut, it's no magic trick. It's just like everything else, right?
So how old are you right now as you joined this industry at the age of 26?
I am 37 right now.
37. Oh, cool. And
I'm
you
pretty old.
are Abhishek, one more question for you, and it's quite
Yes.
interesting. And I know I just want to know your true thoughts onto this one because I'm even my team and I, we are following a path because we want to change the course for the India for the future for developing the games. So I would like to know, even like Dhruva has been into the industry for 20 years. Lakshya has already been, I think, 14 to 15 years. Even Rockstar came in 2016. Sumo, Ubisoft, and so many EA and so many indie game developers are here right now, and few are coming up. Even Riot has been settled. They are coming into the Noida or Gurgaon within few years. Actually, they announced onto their website, so I'm not sure when would they put up into this cities. But yeah, India is growing if we see as the perspective for gaming industry, but still after 20 years we are not still developing a game. So can you please tell me what do you think about this one? Why we are lacking, where we are lacking?
I I think, I mean, this kind of scenario, I think, will not change dramatically to practically, and then be very frank with you. I do not think that we will create our own IP in the next 2, 3, 4 years, perhaps. To be very frank, why? Because we don't have backing. Number one, like if I want to create a IP or create a game on my own, there are like people doing it, but one thing is that there is no solid backing behind them. From the overall industry side, I do not know much, but if we want to like create a really solid title, like if you have seen, there is a Chinese title that came up, Wukong, I think. I don't recall the name. There is a title that came up. It's a monkey who is it's a third person kind of. So that person, the art director of that person, he is working on it from CG Hub days. Back before ArtStation, there used to be CG Hub back in 2014, 15, around that time. And then the game released like last year. So what I'm saying is that if we have such rich content. India as a country, it has so much content, but if you want to create into a game, it needs a lot of resources. I don't have anything against what is happening in India right now, but if you look at the kind of content we are creating for children, the story and how it appeals to children and what is the marketing strategy, that's a different game we are talking about. But if you look at the content by its art quality, I'm talking about not in games, but I'm talking about children's web, like cartoons and stuff. The content is not that up to that quality. We grew up watching Tom and Jerry and Donald Duck. If you look at the quality of that content, the frame rates, the artwork that had gone behind it, the content is so rich. And then if you look at what is happening in India right now, the content is not that good. It needs to polish up. You need to work on it. You need to have budget for it. If we do not provide budget for it, quality content will not come, right? If an artist thinking that, okay, if I work in an indie company or an Indian game, then so much resources I will get. But if I spend that much hour, if I put in a foreign studio and work from them, I earn more. So why would that person spend his life and time into an indie studio, into a Indian content, into a studio which is creating Indian content? So we need resources, we need money, we need to bring in economics into it, and it will pay off. It will pay off in the long run. But we need to invest first to get a reward from it, right? So I think that is the economic point where there is like a lack of. I mean, it can be. It may be a fear that, okay, maybe it's a risky business in India. We play a lot of casual games, but AAA game is not catching up in India. But the fact is that it doesn't have to catch up in India. We are gaming is an international market, right? You don't need to create a single physical device. You don't need to create a disc to sell your game. You can put it up in Steam and it will sell. But you need to create the quality content that people will put their money on. You need to make people pay you because you are creating such rich content. It will take time. You have to bet it. You have to put a bet that, okay, what you have to believe in a content that you are creating, that, okay, I am creating this game. I believe in this game. I will put my life in this game and I will make it work, then maybe, in 5 years. So right now, a good quality AAA title takes easily 6 to 7 years, right? So even we are trying to make a really good quality content today, nothing will come in next 4 or 5 years, right? People are doing it. People like I see in LinkedIn. I follow this guy. He is really working really nicely. I don't recall his name. He's working on this Asura kind of like battle arena kind of a thing that he's working on. He's an animator, I think. I don't recall. It's looking so nice, but then we need to create a complete package. That is good quality, but we need to create a complete package, and that need resources in terms of like human resources in terms of money, resources in terms of time. So all of these things, all of these ingredients has to come together. I do not know like what is happening right now, but like big techies, like if say Reliance opens a studio, can happen. It can, fasten the process. That's kind of backing I'm talking about. The big players has to recognize that, okay, this is a market, this is a possibility. There has to be a business angle to it. Unless and until we create a business angle, creating AAA title in India is tough, because we have the quality in terms of talent, in terms of people, in terms of human resources, but you have to tie it together and then make a business out of it, and then only I think AAA title can really take off in India. But that's completely my naive view.
No, that's true. The thing is that, in short, investors are not mentally prepared.
Exactly. They are very fearful about the AAA gaming industry in India.
Yes.
They will easily spend money in making casual games, which is a kind of rip-off from a like successful title, and they put in some new stuff and then they sell it. But like, to come up with original idea, you need to put in a lot of money and resources and time and energy into it, and then something will come up, right? So
Right. Even as you can see in India, music companies are growing day by day. People are coming on YouTube day by day. The Punjabi singers are getting exposure day by day, because that is a short industry and people are wasting their time on mobile phone just watching the songs and those bloody. I'm on the internet, I know that, but Badshah's kind of stuff, like some adultery things, but then they are not forcing on to grow the talent. And even if you want to hire something good talent, good artist, you need to pay a good amount, because he has given his a long time on this artwork, and he didn't join this industry because just money is also part for the life. I know that art is truly your inner like satisfaction, sympathy, and soothingness for your soul, but still, for your financial part, your sustainability, and your for family, money is also very important. And you're putting a lot of efforts like IITians and IIMs, and you're not getting that much good amount of salary, so they will move from the country. That's why the talent is getting out of the country.
That is true. You cannot create art in empty stomach.
Yes, definitely. That's true. Because even the systems, machines, PC, your Wacom's, your tablets, your Cintiqs, everything needs a good amount of money.
They cost like much.
Yes.
So if I'm not able to buy the quality hardware, how am I supposed to come up with quality artwork?
Yes.
It's a basic thing. So that has to be taken care of, I feel.
Indeed, I have seen one more thing in my industry, in Indian industry, because I have worked with mostly in studios, and I know about Sumo also, Lakshya also, Dhruva also, even Ubisoft also. I've seen that one thing is quite comprehensive when I'm just comparing to the foreign brands. These people are not able to provide good monitors to the person, so he can able to see the real colors of the concept art or just a texture art or what they are just building up. they're having a very basic monitor. So how could a person can design something when he's not able to see into his hardware? So even the studios are doing the same thing.
So overall,
That's my personal point. Like.
exactly. So overall, the infrastructure has to improve
Yes.
a lot.
Abhishek, any
Yeah.
questions? Do you think we missed it? You can tell the future
Nothing.
audience because
I think we covered a lot of the grounds, and then no, I don't think anything that is coming up in my mind right now that I can talk about. Yeah, I think we're good.
I've seen you there. How did you work? I've seen you there sitting and working from 3D to 2D and just you were jumping and you came into the industry. I know that you came at 26, so I know that
Yeah.
because you were passionate about the industry. That's why you came up.
Exactly,
So the
exactly.
person who is,
Be
yeah,
really passionate if he wants to do anything in games. Like in games, it doesn't have to be concept art or 3D or sculpting. This is art we are creating, and a person has to be really passionate about their art to make it work.
yeah.
Yeah.
And even you are versatile. You are not just sticking to one thing. You're switching the platforms and taking the advantage of every single platform and mixing it together. That's a very cool thing. Even that's a good
Yes,
mixed media thing for the future generation also. Because whatever
Yes.
tools are available, whatever software are available, use them. Take advantage of all those things.
Yes. We need to do that because concept art, like the whole industry is changing, and then concept art is changing even at a faster rate.
Yes.
And then now, like a big player in the concept art market right now is Blender.
Blender, yes.
And then Blender is becoming so cool a software that it will obliterate everything that is like
Definitely.
it has so much potential, and everybody is using it, and even the big giants of the industry, they are also using like a Blender, and then it's
Yes.
amazing how the software is evolving day by day, and Blender 3 is out, and then it's amazing. I'm using it, so yeah, future is amazing.
Yes. Yeah, Abhishek, it's nice talking to you, man. Even in future also, we can disturb you anytime.
Yes, please. I'll be happy to talk to you.
Okay, sure, man. And thanks for the time. Really appreciate your valuable time.
Bye bye.
Bye, Abhishek.